Tyson Chandler has had a pretty successful NBA career. He won a championship, he could block shots, and he could also dunk and rebound at a high level. At his best, he was a walking double-double, as during his prime years, he averaged a career-high 11 points with 11 rebounds. Not too bad. However, who was setting him up for these points? Well, it is none other than Chris Paul.
Oh my gosh, my favorite point guard, Chris Paul, man. Chris Paul, man. What's up, man?
Who?
You ain't Chris Paul?
Another center Paul has played with is DeAndre Jordan. He was a problem above the rim, both offensively and defensively, and had his best runs with CP3. As with him, he was an All-NBA player 3 times, with Chris Paul alongside him, throwing him lobs and throwing him dimes. If there is one takeaway from this, it is that Chris Paul will make you better and he will do whatever it takes to win. Whether it be improving a player as he did with those two, or even improving an entire franchise. Hence, the Chris Paul effect. Here are some of the teams Chris Paul has played with throughout his NBA career. This graph shows both their records and win percentages the season before Chris Paul joined them. Some teams are good, others not so much. We have teams such as the New Orleans Hornets, the Los Angeles Clippers, the Houston Rockets, the OKC Thunder, and the team he currently plays for, the Phoenix Suns. Now, how did those teams improve after only one season with Chris Paul? Pretty safe to say, I think you would want Chris Paul on your team. There is some correlation with Chris Paul and trying to win. You can easily tell he is trying to get the best odds possible of winning, no matter what it takes. Here is an example. Chris Paul and the Oklahoma City Thunder are playing the Minnesota Timberwolves, and it is a close game. With 1.1 seconds left on the clock, Karl-Anthony Towns is at the line with 2 clutch free throws. He misses the first one. No big deal. Minnesota still has a lead with almost no time left. The Wolves then proceed to make a substitution, but here comes Chris Paul.
At the line in crunch time for the Timberwolves. Left that door open slightly.
And you want him to make this free throw. Well, Minnesota just got dinged for a delay of game.
Chris Paul, who studied the NBA rulebook profusely, notices a Timberwolves player not having his jersey tucked in, which causes a delay of game. This leads to the Thunder receiving a technical free throw, which Danilo Gallinari ends up making. The Timberwolves are now frustrated, angry, and confused at what just happened. They just lost a point due to an untucked jersey in the dying seconds of a close game. Now, we can go back to Karl-Anthony Towns, who by the way will make his second free throw. However, for the Timberwolves, it somehow gets worse.
He made it. So Adams launches it to shooter, catches, and scores! To tie it at 122!
The Thunder force overtime and end up winning the game. Chris Paul, you basketball genius. Another thing about CP3 is that his game is perfect for any NBA team, regardless of expectations, and he has proved that. Chris Paul, being the main guy, did it with the Hornets and drastically improved their franchise. How about taking a back seat, letting him become the second star next to James Harden, while they almost dethroned the Golden State Warriors in the process? How about being a mentor and a veteran for a team in Oklahoma that was destined for the lottery? Done that as well. Now he is in Phoenix at the age of 35, still an all-star and helping out the young Phoenix team, who are doing excellent with him as they are currently the 2nd seed in a stacked Western Conference. The Suns are a talented team, but you could tell they needed some guidance after their bubble run last year, and they got it perfectly with acquiring Chris Paul, letting him orchestrate the offense, lead by example, and also take a back seat when needed when others have the hot hand. It's just what Chris Paul does, and when people say his game is timeless, I can see why. Because of the individual success he has had over the years, over every stage of his career. Chris Paul's playing style resembles a mix of the old and new way of playing in the league. A more traditional point guard who can command an offense like an elite floor general, but also take over scoring when necessary. His elite playmaking, shooting, defense, leadership, and a whole lot more still lets him dominate in the later ends of his career. Exactly like when he was a rookie averaging 16 and 8. And in his case, we can learn about how not only numbers can transition into wins, but the other aspects of the game that does not show on the stat sheet: leadership, unselfishness, experience, competitiveness, and the will to win. These things are synonymous with Chris Paul and are one of the reasons he was, and quite frankly still is, successful today.